Hey, my name's Alex McWhorter, and this is my time-saving analysis. So, Mr. COO, you travel quite a lot on a yearly basis. You're having to go through a hassle with the airlines. You got to go through security, got to get to the airport a couple hours early. You're going to have layovers, catch another flight there, finally get to your destination, get to a rental car, drive to the city that you originally wanted to get to because commercial airlines do not fly to smaller cities, and then finally get to your destination to do whatever it was you needed to do. And then occasionally you're going to need to get an overnight hotel, which is going to cost even more money and keep you time away from home and away from work. And that is a problem. And instead of traveling with the airlines, there is another option, and that is on demand travel. On demand travel means staying home more often, being more productive, a more relaxed travel experience. It's much more stress free to travel in your own private aircraft than to be on an airline where you have to sit with a whole bunch of other people, and it's an exhaustive process. And your time is valuable, and time is money. Let's talk about the efficiency of these miles traveled. So you yourself traveled 36,000 miles this past year, and all employees totaled is 120,000 miles. That's an incredibly large number. And when you're traveling through the airlines, it becomes incredibly expensive, especially when you consider rental cars and hotels. However, if we look over at the airlines versus on demand, you can see here the hours spent traveling with the airlines is close to 900. That's almost a total month of time and productivity of you and your employees spent just simply traveling. When you switch to on demand, you're looking at around just over 300 hours traveled, which is a substantially smaller number and very significant in the scheme of things, especially over a year-long period. Now, when we look at our options, we have a turboprop. We can get a turboprop or we can get a jet. And you can see here the Citation 5 is going to save you about 700 hours when compared with the airlines, and that's simply because a jet is much faster. Turboprop is going to save you 645. So that is a small advantage with going with the jet. However, with the jet, it's more fuel efficient over long distances. So if you have a lot of longer trips, then this Citation is going to be the more obvious choice. But the Pilatus is more efficient, will save you more money over shorter trips. So if most of your trips are shorter legs, then this is going to be the option for you. But either way, we can take a look at the overnights. Now, overnights with the airlines before your expansion was 55, and now it's 63. That's not insignificant either. 63 nights spent at a hotel it adds up over time for yourself and your employees, and is not an enjoyable experience at all. And when you switch to on demand, you're looking at 7 before the expansion and 12 after, either or, when going with either the jet or the turboprop. And that's over 50 less nights spent at a hotel. That's over 50 less nights that families or yourself got to spend time away from home, time away from work. They could be doing more productive things. And that's just saving quite a lot of money. Now, in conclusion, you're going to save around 700 hours in time for the company, 51 hours less overnight at hotels. You're looking at stress-free travel and freedom for future expansion. So this expansion alone is already costing so much more time and so many more hotels, so many more rental cars with going through the airlines. However, on-demand travel is going to allow you to expand, acquire more assets for the company, increase profit and revenue without having to think about having to spend so much more time on the road or in the air. And these smaller aircraft are so much better for that, especially if you're going to expand into smaller towns because they can get to places that airlines simply can't. And that's when the decision starts to become more obvious. And I hope you'll consider these options and take these things into account. And I appreciate you for listening. Y'all have the rest of your day.